So I'm here to introduce you Robin, that probably you listened her yesterday. Great speech. Robin.
Hello. Oh, hello.
And my dear old friend, Carlo.
Thank you.
Okay, so we can sit here.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
Ooh.
So,
Oh, yeah. Good?
very good. You?
Amazingly, we're here.
Really, really good speech yesterday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, in fact, I wanna already try all the stuff.
You have to. I mean, yeah. What I said is just a fraction of everything it can do. So I'm
Yeah.
sure. Then I want to take a picture at your face while you're using it. You're gonna be like,
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Yes, because in the end of the day, AI needs to. I mean, we have to use it, to simplify the works, the job, but also like to make money,
exactly.
right?
That's what matters.
So, for example, AI can be used to simplify the work or maybe to drive sales. Okay, let's start to talk like how AI can simplify the job for people, for marketers, for dropshipper, for e-commerce. So, yeah.
It's like a weird setup.
Yeah.
Is it?
It was really weird. Like she's back here.
Okay.
Move forward.
Yes, move
Here we
forward.
go.
All right, how we
We
Yeah.
couldn't
We've been
see.
in the same room before. House
Yeah.
3, right?
Yeah.
It's not the first time.
Yeah, it's not the first time. So,
Cool.
you want to start?
me to start?
How can
Yeah.
you simplify the work?
Yeah, I think in general, like AI is giving the chance to everybody to be leaner. Like if I look at my company, we're 4 people, and we're doing the work of like same company with like 50 employees. And the way we do that is because we leverage AI a little bit better, and everything we do, we use AI to partially automate, our own tasks. And I literally use AI for everything. And right now, it's just getting easier to start a business, and especially in dropshipping. Most of the obstacles that were there when we started, like 5 years ago, like finding the product and finding the best copy, and all these things can be automated. And then, of course, you need to review the result to see if it makes sense. It's not going to be like one click, one link, and that's all. But it's simplifying everything, and I think we're seeing that today as well with all the speeches about AI. Like I was literally standing there and listening, like a bunch of incredible folks talking about how to use AI in SEO, how to use AI with this, and there's so many tasks, and then it's just really, really unbelievable how this is changing the way we work, right?
AI, it's making like many people be fired also because they're not useful anymore to do some task. But on the otherwise, there will be other people that
Yeah.
will be hired because they will be like AI expert.
It's innovation. Like in any era of innovation, you have people losing jobs because they become obsolete, and they have to adapt. Like in business, right? So they might not be doing the same job, but they might be doing something different, maybe connected to AI. So maybe controlling the software, controlling the outcome, or maybe completely change their career. But that's innovation. That's the bad side of the coin. But there is no way we can solve this. It's part of the game. But it's amazing to see like new jobs coming up
Yeah.
every single day
So-
because of the AI.
So basically, let's say many things start from like to simplify, all the supply chain, all the works that you have to do. What do you think?
Yeah, most definitely. Well, the contribution of AI, as Carlos says, it simplifies, it gives you extra power. I think that when it comes to e-commerce and dropshipping, it really makes a difference in terms of timing and optimization. Now, especially when you're dropshipping, you use it nowadays to test a product, okay? Because you know how it works. It can be a little bit unreliable. There is a lot of delegation. You don't have control literally on everything. But at the same time, it's great to test the product. So when you're testing a product, though, in 2024, you have to go through a lot of steps. It's not like 5 years ago where you just throw a product
Drag
out
and
there
drop.
and yeah, exactly,
Push
and you
the
just see
button.
if it gains traction, and then you can scale it from there. Now people are, I mean, they are used and they are used to high level, to high quality stuff. So you have to build something that looks like a brand. Meaning that if you want that testing to be legit, you have to think about a message, you have to think about a kind of a brand strategy, you have to think about colors, you have to produce content, you have to do all that stuff, and you're still testing, so you don't know if it's going to worth it. So a good thing that AI can help you with is to create something that looks like a legit brand for a legit testing, and you do that in no time, and you can just come up with, start testing 10 products at the time, because it's just going to take you 24 hours to prepare everything and be good to go.
Okay, but okay.
No, I think you said something really important there. Is like you didn't leave out testing. You're still testing.
Hell yeah.
You're still running the same process. But you had, I think you said you had 50 employees and now you have 4 or whatever. You can mimic 50 employees with 4 people. The speed at which you are using AI to develop dropshipping brand, not dropshipping product, that I think that's very special, because in this world, an evolution of a product is just a product, but a brand is really important. And I don't think enough people use the idea or concept of AI to build something special. You can have a million different affiliate offers. You can run whatever you want, but I think that there's also something to be said to have the development of a brand, and using one person to run an entire company based on AI while still testing is wild. When you like, can you explain, go through like maybe even your process, 5 minutes of building a brand, 24 hours, what do you do? Like, I'm gonna start this, what does it look like?
So you can really do it from scratch, literally from scratch. So let's say you don't know what to sell. Now you can have machine learning giving you forecasts that can tell you what is going to sell, when, where. So you already have this data-driven inspiration, and you already find a product and you know that product is going to sell. So you have also predictability in the game. You still have to test. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, everything is more predictable. Then, you need to understand, of course, who you're selling to. So AI can tell you immediately who your buyer persona are, and you can just know who your target audience is. Then, you need to build a message, okay? So you have to find a message that resonates with these people. So you can have an angle generator that just generates the angle for you. Then, you need, of course, to build all the visuals. You need to build all the content for social media, ads, and everything is just a click. So by the end of the day, you literally have everything. You want to build, you need, of course, product details, the title of the product, you need the FAQs for, you know, the cost. I mean, just think about the whole help center or FAQs for a product. And mind you, we're still talking about drop shipping, so you've never seen that product. Still, in a whole day, you can build something complete that can make you look super legit, and that can just allow you to test. And mind you, while you're doing this, you can do it for one product, but you can do it at the same time for 10 products, and then you just throw everything out there.
Yeah, I think, you know, a lot of people like here in the audience like doing dropshipping and e-commerce. Like if we see how it has changed over the years. Like before, there are so many things you can do in e-commerce. Even if when you look in the product page, there are like millions of variables that can increase or decrease your conversion rate and everything, like the SEO part, description, title, the bottom, the green or red or whatever. There's so many things. And before, like, I think like 5 years ago, before like now we are, I think, in the educational phase of AI, right? Before a few people knew about it, people had the time to just focus on one specific thing. Like maybe we do SEO, you know, or maybe I do really well product description. That's what I do every single day, because drop shippers usually are small teams, from 1 person, 2 people, 3 people. Now you don't have any excuse. Now you can do everything that it's the play. Like, you know, when you build a brand, you have to focus on social media. You have to be great in product title, descriptions, and all of that. Now you have the chance to do it all at once, which is a challenge because you're doing a lot of things. But if you find a way to automate each of these things, you can do it and you can move faster than anybody else. Because in this moment, the way you leverage AI and the way you're better than your competitors have the same access to AI as you is you are faster, quicker in implementation, and then you're training the software better than anybody else. If you do these things well, even with people competing in the same space, leveraging the same softwares, you'll be better.
In fact, I think, for example, talking about ChatGPT, okay, everyone can have access.
Yeah.
But like it depends how to use it. Like now the skill, it's like prompt skill, how to set the right prompt. I think like, you know, maybe can be the prompt scientist, the prompt...
Prompt engineering, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is becoming very famous. You know what I did? One little sentence, maybe you can test it yourself as well. It completely changed the outcome of any prompt I ever used. Is at the very end of the prompt, I say, hey, if the outcome is bad, I'll get fired. So make sure the outcome is good. And it's silly, right? It's just silly. But it changed the outcome. Like really test it yourself and see how it is. We are sending like emails, like we are sending like 2,000 emails every single day and outreaching people who can be potential customers. And everything is done automatically.
For the copywriting, for example, if you have an API, you give to ChatGPT like the 10 best books of copywriting, and you know you upload in PDF, and then you said, okay, based on this study, now have to do this landing page. Give me like 10 headlines, taking all the advice, and you have like difference from the, you know, normal ChatGPT.
Crazy. And then of course you have to review the content and everything, but like,
of course,
it's. I mean, now we are promoting like 50 blog posts every single week automatically. Like that would be impossible. Maybe the quality is like, you know, a 7 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10, but we're still doing it. And it's right to do it, but we didn't have the time before to do it manually.
Yeah, but aren't you saying like you're essentially teaching the machine to learn this, right? Like if it's a 7 out of 10 today and you work on this for a month, the better you get at prompting, the more that you start to develop your brand or your process for the prompting, it's going to get better. The 7s become 8s and 9s really quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that that's important. It's like, okay, well, you have to start somewhere. Maybe you start at a 7, which for me, a 7 is pretty damn good, right? I'm pretty pumped about that. But if I can get to an 8 or a 9 or a 10, just on constant updating and prompting and, you know, like reading and evaluating and trying to do a deeper dive on this and just asking really difficult questions that I don't know the answers to, well, it will figure me out. And that's what's wild about this is it's like every single day, it gets better and better and better. And your brand gets better and better and better. Your process gets better just because it's doing it for you. Instead of having 50 people, it's you, you know, and it's pretty awesome.
Like, to be honest, like when I was working in Salesforce, I was doing a job, I was, you know, outreaching potential customers, and I was sending 50 emails a day. Now I'm doing the same job in my company, but I'm doing the job of 6 people at once, you know? And it's crazy, like, it's just, you know, I tell, hey, visit this company profile, give me one insight that I want, and then I put it in the email, like, this is insane. It would be impossible, like, to do it the same thing 10 years ago. Now it's possible, it's accessible, so you just have to, I guess, wake up and do it.
I think, for example, for the affiliate personally, the best things that we are seeing in AI. So if I have to create, let's say, BSL, that it's what I'm focused now, or like BSL for e-commerce product.
Yeah.
So I need, you know, like UGC content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like 1 year ago, I had to hire different UGC content. I need to deal, I need to pay. Today, I have tools where, you know, maybe in the end, I will go to hire the real UGC content creator. But now, I can test it lean way just to test the copy with the tool that give me like video with a UGC experience. Copywriting, okay, how much costs a copywriter? 15K, 20K, what? You know what? AI, I transcribe the script of the VSL I put in ChatGPT, I change just the product, I put in another tool of video, create video stocking automatically, then I just edit, I'm ready to go.
Yep.
And I skip many, in the end, if works, okay, I will go to the copywriter to hire, okay, 15K, it's okay. But after I know, and I test in a lean way, and so this is how you can use like AI, just to simplify, to test in a lean way. But then there is also the AI in real time. Like because, you know, sometimes, for example, for a phone call, maybe now there are, you know, AI voice that know what to tell you in that moment. Or for example, you are purchasing in a website, and you know, sometimes you're not purchasing because you need just something more. And now you have like different AI that can sell you, can facilitate the sales in 2, 3, 4 steps in the website. So it's like human trained and know exactly what to do and what to say based on the experience. And this is AI in real time.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing that obviously, like the two things that we have here on the table. Like on one side you have the product selection and, you know, and all of that, which is massive, because now you can all these data points understand what's working, what's not, you know. And then on the other side you have the thing that we always don't understand. Like if you have a physical shop, you have people working in a shop. If you have a digital shop, nobody's showing up. You're spending so much money to bring people there, and nobody's saying hi. And that's what we do, and that's what we see by working with even large companies like Euronics and Troni Group here in Italy. They're welcoming people, and you know, if anybody has a question, there is a chatbot for it. Like people don't care if you're talking with a robot or not, as long as you're assistant. That's the reality.
Yeah. Robin, what are you most excited about with this? Like, if you have a blank canvas to paint, like I'm gonna start today. Like, what are you most excited about implementing AI into your process of e-commerce product or dropshipping? Like, I know it's cool. Like, I get this shit. It's cool. But like, you have an amazing amount of energy. I want to know, like, what excites you about this, and like, where do you go?
I love this question. Thank you so much. You know what I love about this? The fact that it gets rid of even more barriers. But in this case, it gives a space to people that have very special expertises to access the whole game. Like, we are in the era of micro-branding, social media, communities with, you know, very, very specific interests. So what makes you special and puts you in a condition, you know, to build a brand is maybe your own specific expertise in something. And you need to compensate on the other side, because you might not be a marketing expert. So AI can really help you to, you know, monetize, to put your foot in the e-commerce game by, you know, providing you a team practically, and you don't have problems with your budget, and you don't have language barriers. So if you have an idea, the craziest idea, and you have the audience, now you also have the tools to bring it to life. So for me, that is the most exciting part, I have to say. And going back to what you were saying, you said something that is so important. I see it in my day-to-day. The healthy way of using AI, of consuming AI, is, you know, to being able, of course, to give it a good input, but also to interact with the output and to train it. This is something that not many people do. They just copy and paste the results, and that's not on the long run. That is not going to give you results. Sometimes the results are so good that you want to do it, but the fact is that if the whole thing becomes a back and forth instead of just an input and an output, of course, prompting is really important. but we're not all nerds. I mean, yes, maybe we are, but not all in the same way. We're not going to feed 10 books to the AI, okay? So I think that one thing that people should think about when it comes to how can I differentiate when we all have access to the same technology is to keep an eye on other kinds of technology, proprietary technology. Because one day we're gonna all have ChatGPT. No, today we all have ChatGPT. And we're all gonna become prompt nerds at some point. But then there's gonna be that person over there that is gonna have a different tool with a different technology that is gonna provide another result. So I think that people should really keep an eye out for that because one day we're gonna be good all the same way. So that's the differentiation. I want to say that.
What's wild is, 1 year ago we could have had this conversation and it would be vastly different.
Yeah.
Like, we actually wouldn't have been having this conversation a year ago. 1 year, right? Well, not even, because this was in October last year. So October last year we're here. Now we're in June and we're having a conversation that's light years ahead of where it is. Now here's a more difficult question. Where does it go? What do you think? What do you feel? Like, if we're having the same conversation next year, what do you think it looks like? And then from all of you, actually, like, just because I'm a geek and I want to know, like, maybe I can steal information from you. My point is, if it's going this way, or where would you like it to go, and how creative do you think we can get with this? And then what does this conversation look like a year from now?
Oh, this is a great question. So right now, I think that we are still in a phase where, artificial intelligence is a really sexy word. You still have to distinguish between services and companies and opportunities. People are experimenting a lot. But I think, especially in this kind of environment of heavy scalers, that in a year, every single one of us would have gained and lost enough money to know what is working and what is not working. So I think that we're all gonna have a different common starting point, but the optimization is gonna be, is gonna be so extreme that we're gonna be building on top of that. At the same time, AI is not gonna be the sexy word because we're just gonna give it for granted. Of course, it's AI. I mean, you said a year ago. A year ago, if we would have been on this stage a year ago, we would have been discussing what would be the value of artificial intelligence for business and not. Today, we know that there is value, okay? So yeah, I think that we're gonna give that for granted in a year, and we're gonna be talking about super optimizations and bigger projects.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think we are still in the educational phase. We are playing around with it. It's fun. We are all, like, especially in this world, we're all creative people. And I think the people who are benefiting the most out of AI is us, because we don't have the time to be maybe writing posts and stuff, but we can have an idea, which is a crazy idea or not, and then we can have the AI like drafting the document for us and everything. I think next year we'll definitely be out of the educational phase. I think now everybody knows that AI has some sort of play in their life, business, individual, whatever. We will be seeing a different stage, which is the implementation stage. Now we are playing, but next year I think we will have, North Star companies, like now Klarna is implementing AI, but next year we will have 100 companies like Klarna doing crazy things. Now we are looking at ourselves, because if we look at companies, even large organizations, they're not doing much. Like, we are doing the same thing, right? We don't see them as a North Star. Oh my God, I need to follow their use case. I need to follow their playbook. They don't have any playbooks right now. Next year, they will, because they will implement solution faster, and we will read about them, and that's the implementation stage. So I think today it's clear, and I think these conferences are wake-up calls, because maybe from this panel, from speeches, you don't get like practical examples and things, but it's a wake-up call. Like, if everybody's talking about AI, it means that if you're not doing anything with AI, then you should be looking.
In fact, I want to ask a question to the audience. Who is not using AI? Raise your hand. Who is not using? Okay, so basically.
Don't be shy.
I was going to say, if somebody raises their hand, they're leaving. I will throw them out. Like, oh, I'm not using, I don't even know what the fuck AI is. No, go, you gotta go, right? Yeah, this is wild. I like look at this and I'm like, I mean, it kind of blows my mind. And I think you said it perfectly, like, it's just a toy. we're just playing with it, like a sexy word. Like, I mean, I literally can go on and build an ad right now and say, I can build a drop shipping business for you with e-commerce business using AI. I can have it done tomorrow, and you'll start now. It's going to cost you $9,000, and somebody will buy it,
Yeah.
literally. And I did no work, like none. And you said this at the beginning, it's drop shipping. You don't even touch it. I don't even see it. It's gone, right? It's somebody buys something, it goes. And it's wild to me to think, like, I mean, I don't know if I lay in bed and dream about it, but I dream about it. It's like, where does this go? And then now follow up to, do you see any harm in it? Do you see any things that you're like, oh shit, like, let's pump the brakes. This is a little bit too scary for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like Facebook, they removed their department of AI writing codes because the AI was outperforming the developers and outperforming the guidelines the developers were giving to the AI. So the AI was building its own code, which is crazy, and that can be really, dangerous maybe because nobody's controlling that. So at scale, because that's where we see the problems. Maybe if you're a drop shipping store, you're making a few orders, you're not going to see that because you're fully on your business, you're checking what's going on. But if you look at DHL and some airline companies, they were giving out information wrong. That's scary as well. So there are a lot of things that needs to be controlled. I think as a customer now, could be scary. So that's why implementation is the real key difference in the near future. I think we will see a lot of companies doing the monitoring side of things. Now we don't hear anyone doing monitoring, which is crazy. We need some sort of monitoring. Otherwise, it's going to be a Wild West.
Deep fake stuff.
Yeah.
The deep fake, it was like huge impact.
Big issue. Like you see Trump talking, and how can you say that it's Trump or not Trump? How can you say this person is?
In fact,
it's
but
crazy.
also if like we're not talking about the fake, let's say, you can create, website or so. I think the big issue will be like the trust of the people. Like in 2-3 years, I can read any news and I really don't know. For example, also in TV, in the news, sometimes they just maybe don't have the right shooting, and they take from somewhere, maybe from YouTube or from the stock, but maybe that content was created with AI from someone else, so they're going to put in a biggest, in the most trust, let's say, traffic source, like in TV, something that people say, oh, so it's true. But in the end, maybe they did the mistake to take, like fake. So I think the big issues will be the trust. Like we will not know what is true and what is false.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's the issue as a customer.
That is an aspect. Another aspect for sure is how this AI is trained, where it gets its data from. Mind you, everything we have spoken so far is related to human beings. So it's not the AI itself. It's never the tool, is always who is using it. Let's never forget this. But also the way it's, have you, the biases. Do you know the story of of Midjourney's autistic boy? So
No.
like they did so many tests, of course, but this one really stuck with me. So they asked Midjourney to just generate the image of an autistic boy, and they asked Midjourney for like 50 times, and every single time Midjourney gave out the realistic picture of a redhead that was feeling sad, with a sad face. Now, who says that all autistic kids have red hair? And why do they necessarily have to have a sad face? That's a bias, okay? And of course, all these language models and, Midjourney is not a language model, but all these AI models based on AI are trained with data that, you have with big data. But that can be biased. So this is also a reason why I always say, when you're dealing with artificial intelligence, always work with more than one model, because I work with 3, and that's the basis. And I always tell everybody, because nothing is 100% reliable. And also that's the reason why the final version has to always have your touch, because it's not that if it comes from artificial intelligence, it's, yeah, 100% reliable. However, yeah, check it out.
Wow. So what's the best things that a dropshipper or e-commerce guy can do now? Like 3 things. I'm a dropshipper, I'm e-commerce, okay? I want to go out from this room with something like, boom, I want to do it now.
Yeah, I think, product selection.
Implementation.
Yeah, so definitely product selection is, product discovery and selection is a big thing. It just saves time. So I go out, I find what's working out there, and then I try to replicate the strategy. So that's one thing. Automate customer support. Don't be afraid, don't be skeptical. There are now big organizations using chatbots. Like if you train them well, they work. I think the third is about like marketing in general. Like do competitive analysis on what other people are doing in terms of not only the products they're selling, but also the creatives are using, and then use AI to like replicate that and maybe building similar things. So it's a three steps process, and that's what I would do.
Thanks.
Okay. But when it comes to me, well, yeah, product selection, I'm sorry, I know you already said that, but product selection, for sure, AI can tell you what's going to sell, when it's going to sell. And if you have any experience in e-commerce and dropshipping, you know that that is the most important thing. Like, since I'm in this industry, people have been asking me, Robin, give me a winning product. Tell me what others are selling. So this is so crucial. But I have to say, especially for dropshipping, a thing that is amazing that AI can allow you to do. I mean, the problem with dropshipping is that, as I said, you're delegating, and you don't even know what you're selling. You just see the pictures, okay? One thing that I think it's a little underevaluated, but it's really, really crucial, is the fact that artificial intelligence can allow you to analyze ginormous amounts of product reviews and allow you to understand how this product is from the customer's eyes already. So it puts you in a condition, it's even better than buying and testing the product and giving it your own opinion. You have the opinion of, we have a customer, for example, that by studying reviews, they didn't only have a feedback about what people appreciated about the product, what were their fears, objections, why they bought it, the purchase triggers. But at a certain point, they decided to change the product into a different version made out of a different fabric because of this information. And you're getting this information from potential buyers.
In
and
fact,
you're drop shipping, so you still don't have the product.
As affiliate, we create the angles based on the review.
Hey, Carlo, then you know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
Okay, so you should really test that. You would love it, man. So yeah, that for sure, and landing page optimization, because I don't want to, say everything that you said. Landing page optimization, artificial intelligence can help you up a storm. It can inspect your landing page and tell you, the good parts and what's yucky, and tell you how to fix it. But another beautiful thing that I think that people in this industry would really appreciate, since there is a slight tendency of copying what's working. Okay, one thing you can do with artificial intelligence is give them your landing page and give them the landing page of a website that you like. Yeah, has it ever happened that you just look at a page, a website, and say, oh, I wish I had my page was as good, as effective as that one? So you can ask artificial intelligence to tell you how to manipulate your website in a way that you can incorporate the beautiful parts from the website that you like without copying it. And artificial intelligence is so good that it can tell you how to take these good parts, still respecting the nature of your brand, of your messaging, and just bring out the best of your website. I mean, this is science fiction. So, yeah, just use artificial intelligence for e-commerce and dropshipping. That's the bottom line.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Like something that you said is interesting. Like you look at the results to create angles. One of our customers is Polis Lifestyle. They make sunglasses. Maybe you know them. What they did was they analyzed like around 2,000 conversations that happened with the chatbot, and they asked questions to our solution. They said, "Hey, give me some angles that I can use." Right? So when people see there is a chatbot, they are more open to talk. They feel like judged. I don't know. It's just an open, flow of information. And smart people analyze then whatever happens to see what they can do on the marketing side, or maybe they can fix things on the website. Maybe the checkout is not working. And what Polis realized that there were a lot of people asking for mountain sunglasses and mountain lens, right? And in their first page, there were the new launch of the new watch with Lewis Hamilton, and nobody's giving a shit about that. Nobody was asking questions about that, and they changed the landing page, like one of the creatives in the front page, based on the analyze, based after the result of the analysis, just by listening at what customers wanted.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely matters because what I think is amazing doesn't mean that the customer thinks the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like sunglasses, for example. I have a sunglasses brand. Okay, cool. The ones that I think are cool, friggin' never sell, ever. But the ones that I think are stupid sell all the time. And it's wild to me. And I'm glad we're having this conversation because I've never really implemented any strategy behind it other than I'm gonna see how many sell, and then if these sell, I'll move them or change the placement on whatever. And I mean, just from this conversation, I just saved myself like weeks of work, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
like again, as you said, I think that's one takeaway that I want to give here. Like, we're working with one brand, it's called Hikey. They do dropshipping. It's a huge brand. They're selling hiking shoes specifically built for people with some disorders, like in their feet, whatever. And again, they analyzed the conversations and they realized that most of their sales pages were talking about 2 or 3 disorders. But most people were going to the website and asking if the product was a fit for another disorder that wasn't listed in their sales page. So what they did was, okay, let me ask, what are the 5 different disorders people have? They realized the first number 1 is something that didn't show up in the website. So boom, they changed the sales page, and then they had a huge problem. They realized that our solution was telling them, hey, most people don't know the size. And it's an online, it's drop shipping. So by the time you receive the size, your feet might be a little bit different. And what we told them was, hey, maybe you can go ahead and offer a size-free guarantee program where you let people order 2 sizes of 2 different, same shoes, 2 different sizes, and then you return the wrong one for free. Interesting enough, 80% of the people were ordering 2 sizes of the same shoes, never returned the wrong one, because they were giving to friends and parents, and by the time they received the product, it's drop shipping, maybe 2 weeks. It was okay for them. So again, look at what's happening, analyze, which is impossible to analyze. How can you analyze 5,000 emails with your customers? It's difficult. You can put them on ChatGPT, but ChatGPT, it's try to put 5,000 records. It's difficult. That's how you, I think, leverage AI. So adapt, analyze, and implementation. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any last bits, takeaways, advice? 30 seconds, go.
Well, just if you've always had it in the back of your head and you wanted to try, do it now, just for yourself, because you really have nothing to lose. It can be really fun. You don't need to be a seasoned marketer. And if you are a seasoned marketer, and I'm still talking from experience, you can use AI and still learn a lot. So yeah, just try. This is a great time to also build partnerships, be super creative. The industry is not going to be like this for a long time. So yeah, take advantage of it. And there's still time for Q4. So if you want to build something great and make 2024 particularly remarkable, yeah, throw yourself in the game.
yeah, go out and have fun because it's the right time to do it. And again, just implement, guys, because there is so much you can do. And yeah, that's my takeaway.
Perfect. Thank you very much,
Yes,
guys.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.